The second part of lesson 12.1, I actually think is much easier and less tedious than the first part, so I think you're going to like this better than yesterday. And it's converting decimals to fractions, so it's the exact opposite of what you did in the last lesson. So I want to review your different place values, so write this down with me, please. Let's say we have the number 8.147, and obviously you would write your numbers closer together, but I'm going to add some things in here. This 8, this is in the ones place. This should be review. Your 1 here is in the tenths place. The 4 is in the hundredths place. And your 7 is in the thousandths place. So that's very important when you have to convert a decimal to a fraction, because you have to know which place value the last digit is in. And I would actually write that down because that's very important. So like step 1 is to look at the last digit and see what place value it is in. So for example, this number that you see up here, 8.147, the last digit is the 7 and it's in the thousandths place. So that would be very important when converting it to a fraction, but I'm not going to use this particular example for your first example. Let's do a number that'll simplify a little bit easier. So here's example A. Let's say you have negative 0.26. Remember, some of your numbers are going to be negative now. And so step 1, look and see what the last digit is, which is the 6. And the 6 in this case is in the hundredths place. Because it ends with the hundredths place, when you go to make this a fraction, your denominator is 100. It's as simple as that. So because it ends in the hundredths, make your denominator 100. And then you make your numerator whatever the rest of the problem is. So this is 26 over 100. If your decimal's negative, your fraction's obviously negative. Now, the tricky part about these is just that you have to make sure it's in simplest form before you submit your answer. So in this case, you can divide your numerator and denominator by 2 to simplify, and that would get you a negative 13 over 50. And since there's nothing else that you can divide both of those numbers by, then that means that this is in simplest form. So step 2 would be to simplify by dividing. I'm going to do a few more for you because I know that was kind of quick. I'm going to have to clear my screen though, so pause now if you're still writing. Here's another example. Let's say we have the number 0.125. This time it's a positive number. You look at the last digit, it's a 5, and it's in the thousandths place. Since it ends in the thousandths place, your denominator is automatically 1,000, and you just write 125 above that. Again, you have to simplify these. You can divide this by 25, and I think you can divide again. Let's see, 125 divided by 25 is 5, and then I know that 100 divided by 25 is 4, so 1,000 divided by 25 would be 40, and I can divide one more time. You can divide these both by 5. I've got 1/8, and then you would be done. Let me do one more because I feel like I'm moving kind of fast. Let's see. I'm actually going to do your first assignment problem with you, so technically this is number 20. And it is negative 0.9. So again, look at the last digit, it's a 9, and it's in the tenths place. So you make your denominator a 10. Now, if it's already a negative decimal, it's going to be a negative fraction too. Negative 9/10 is your answer for this one. This is already in simplest form, so you're done. I think the rest of them you should be good to go for. Yeah, just don't forget to simplify at the end. Let me know if you guys have questions.